Our opening song this week is called Sith from a Rose. It's by Stephen Cogswell. Get it at awtfy.com. That's awtfy.com/rose.
Parody song.
Nobody's gone forever.
I had not seen you there. Welcome to my museum. Please remember the suggested donation. It's my credit. I remember it as if it were yesterday. Yeah, when I first pitched Darth Vader as a name, he wasn't a fan. He wanted to be called Black Kill Man. I was like, geez, dude, come on. What's up with that? That's a little weird. Remember how I was in 5 of the previous movies? Make it 6.
Oh, hello, you beautiful people. You know it's Tuesday night. That means it has got to be go time for the show that brings you the best of the worst of the internet ever since anybody was paying attention. Hello, you beautiful people. I'm Brian Brushwood, live in Austin, Texas, joined as always by my BFF and OAK. It's J.R.Y. Justin Robert Young. What is going on, sir?
Oh, Brian Brushwood, we meet again.
But this time, for the first time, for the last time.
Until next Tuesday, when I'll be live in studio. I'm coming down to Austin.
Yeah, so how much of this, our future plans do we want to tip right here?
Well, we can tip the fact that I'll be live in Austin and we'll do a live show. And then we can also tip the fact that I'm going out of the country. And because I don't know what my internet situation is and we do want to get good episodes, I'm making the trip in large part so we can bank good, high quality in studio episodes that we can have for when I am gone. So we're going to get a lot. If you like it better when we're in the same place, then you're going to get a lot of that over the next month.
Do you remember the time that we did back when we were on the previous network? We banked an episode, and during a time that I had a live stage show, and we were like, oh my God, we're going to release this episode. Everyone's going to be like, oh my God, how are they going to do an episode when we all know Brian has a show during that time? And instead, the response was mixed. Is that fair to say?
I don't remember this. So,
oh, really? No.
If you can give me more context, then I'm sure I'd be able to catch up.
Well, so I put together like, oh my God, I have a college show. This is back when I was touring full time or whatever. Yeah. And we're like, we recorded an episode of just the two of us together. And it was something we had never done before because you and I had only done anything live for an audience right in front of them. Yeah. And so instead, we just recorded the two of us, and the keyword, if you want to Google it, is Between the Sheets with Brian the Gerbs or whatever.
Oh yeah, right? I remember Between the Sheets. Yes, of course.
And so I remember we were so excited, like. We played up the mystery of like, oh my God, NSFW is going to be at this time, but Brian's got a show. What are we going to do? Yeah. And then what we did was had somebody click play on a banked episode, and some of the audience not impressed. They were not impressed.
Yeah, as it turned out, we shouldn't have built it up. We should have very early on said, hey guys, understand that you're normally used to us interacting with you live, but in this case, we have to record this episode, and that'll be a thing.
But I would say that the mere fact that we were able to record that without the audience live, and that, like that moment, part of our excitement, I think, was the light bulb going off saying, oh, wait, we can do this without it being all about responding to the audience. We're not necessarily only doing a live show. We could, crazy idea, just talk, the two of us, and make ourselves laugh and come up with something. And I strongly feel like that experiment, even though at the moment it didn't feel great for both of us with how it was received, I think that's what led to Night Attack. Would it be fair to say?
I mean, sure. Everything that we learned there, I think, definitely kind of walked us down the path. But certainly, I think it was a very defining element of us realizing that we can have faith in each other as comedic partners, and we're not just this curiosity that happened on the internet. Where when we started live streaming, it was one constant, "Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening," after the next of like, "Oh, people are here. Oh, more than 20 people are here. Oh, more than 50 people are here." And these people keep coming back, and we see the same names over and over and over again, and we can keep doing all these things that I think we saw it totally tied to the live experience, where I'm sure the audience knew it long before we did, that it's like, oh, also we're funny when we talk to each other. And that's kind of what the meat of the show is.
Yeah, that's the part that's hard for me even now to accept. I know we've been doing this for 10 years, and we have plenty of factual evidence that we're apparently occasionally funny when the two of us talk. But
right there, apparently occasionally funny.
I mean, but again, like understand, I come from the variety arts thing where it's like there's a structure and you cast a spell, you grab the ball and it looks like it's in the one hand, it turns out it's in the other hand and all that stuff. I'm still working my way out of that black hole of artistic freedom. Yeah, I don't know. Look, we have an important issue. It's an existential crisis.
Well, all right, here, hold on. I want to let everybody know that if you are sensing a weird energy from the beginning of this episode, a little contemplative energy, maybe a little nostalgic energy, this is because, much like we were able to find definitive pictures of a black hole for the first time, there is a galactic instance happening in the life of Brian Brushwood, and it involves every element of his existence. Brian, where do we want to start?
Yeah, we're at a nexus. We're at a nexus. We're at a nexus and an existential crisis, and I can't figure out whether I should be guilty or not guilty or happy or unhappy. What happened? You ever see Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
Yeah.
You get to the part and they're up in the sky, and he leans over to Charlie and says, "What happened to the boy who got everything he ever wanted in life? He lived happily ever after." That'd be great. That'd be great. But absent that, what happened to the boy who got very close to something he didn't always want, but wanted it fairly deeply over the last 4 years or so? At what price do you give that momentary piece of joy to that kid, knowing that it's robbing attention, time, energy, and everything from all of those who are beloved by him?
Brian's marriage might be wrecked because of Hearthstone.
Okay, look. Bonnie full on opted out of appearing on today's episode. Let's start there. There's no Bonnie tonight.
Bonnie she's gone. This is not a bit. There's literally an invisible wife, i.e. there's nobody in the chair that Bonnie normally sits in. Now, Brian, what was my idea for the first act of the show?
Your idea was, well, let me tell you how everything actually happened.
Okay.
I went to Bonnie and I said, "Hey, there's a fairly lighthearted but kind of interesting existential question that we want to explore in the first act of the show. However, the only way it does not work is if any one of the four of us allows their personal feelings to keep it from being light and interesting and funny." And she...
we want it to be real.
Correct.
Because that's what makes it funnier, is
Correct.
when real stakes are involved. So everybody's got to put in a little bit of their real emotions. And by the way, fair warning, we're mostly asking for you and Brian to put in real emotions to battle it around on this particular segment. But on the issue of Brian is playing too much Hearthstone, we need to have this aired out.
Okay, we're not quite at that part of the story, but long story short, basically I say, Bonnie gives me sort of the same reaction that everybody listening at home is having right now, which is, the fuck are you talking about? What is going on? And then I have to shorten it by just saying, like, look, we want to talk about Hearthstone and the fact that I'm really close to getting a legend. We want to explore the idea of morality of one side or the other. And the only way it's not funny is if anybody is genuinely emotionally invested in the discussion. At which point Bonnie says, so I'll be sitting out Night Attack tonight. I'm just gonna take a nice long bath and go on to bed. And I was like, oh my goodness, wait, is it a problem? Is it a thing? And she and what she between the lines expressed was, it is not a thing now, but when I quit my day job and she kept the lights on, there was definitely a moment or two 20 years ago that she came home and caught me having not booked any gigs, not written any routines, but instead being like 2/3 of the way through System Shock 2. And that moment 20 years ago still matters. And so she was not interested.
But you don't mean concretely. I mean, you mean like the concept of that moment, or you're not saying she's still holding a grudge because of that afternoon.
Correct. But
the motions
that
of it.
as a result of that moment, it's difficult for her to enter the light comedic exploratory headspace that we want to achieve in this thing. And she's right. She's right. Like when I look back over the last 30 years, like that is a dark moment that I talked my wife into being the one who keeps the lights on while I quit my day job so that I could do magic for a living. And she comes back and it's like I finally got to the part where they unveiled Shodan. It's like if I were her, I would still be very upset with that. But
So, and this is something that we probably should have led off with. Bryce, what's Hearthstone?
So Hearthstone is a free-to-play video game. It's a card, collectible card game.
Right.
It's all digital, so you play it on the computer or on your phone or whatever. And Brian was alluding to Legend, which is so you play it competitively on the quote ladder, and as you rank up, you go through these ranks, and Legend is one of kind of a tipping point into another ranking of metric ranking. And Brian plays a lot of it. It's maybe the only video game I can think of Brian playing in the past maybe 12 months.
yeah,
Other than Spider-Man.
yeah, accurate.
It is something that Brian and I have both played quite a bit, both continue to play. And when you get to Legend, that is an honorarium you can carry forever. It is culturally amongst the players. It is known that you are now a Legend player. You only have to do it once. Is just climb your way to the top of that ladder one time during a month's period. And at that point, you have now proven yourself on a level of aptitude that many people do not.
Oh my goodness, Justin, you play Hearthstone, I hear. What rank is the highest rank you've achieved, Justin?
I've achieved rank 3.
Oh wait, really?
I have.
Okay, all right. What you just saw was a live demonstration of what happens when somebody reevaluates what they know about a person under a new context.
The highest I've ever climbed on the Hearthstone ladder was rank 3. Ironically, the same day I poop fainted on Weird Things.
And for those not in the know, it is an inverse ranking, so 3 is third from Legend. That's the Molten Giant title.
Yeah,
And
everybody
also,
starts.
for those of you who don't know, I was very dehydrated, and during a podcast recording, I tried to take a poop, and I fainted because I fell over.
And then I get a text message from Justin's phone that says, "This is Ashley. We're taking Justin to the hospital."
And then the rest of us went on to talk about goblins for the next hour.
Yeah.
So,
So
in this case, you got this game now. To tell the story, there was a time in the early days where I had two loves. It was Magic and it was video games. making magic my job was
And
difficult.
by the way, we are just because the games are similar. He is talking about Tada, not the Gathering.
Yeah, not
Correct,
Magic the Gathering.
Good point. Good point. I'm supposed to be working on Tada, not the Gathering, and then great name for the episode, by the way. I'm supposed to be working on Tada, not the Gathering, and at some point, this is around when the first version of The Sims came out, and I remember I made a virtual version of Brian and a virtual version of Bonnie, and I dressed them both exactly the way you would expect Brian and Bonnie to be, and I set all the slider bars exactly how I thought,
You could set their personality.
Correct. Like her values, Brian's values, and so on.
Cleanliness, charisma.
Right. Then
stuff
you
like
click a button and it's like, now go live your life. Right. And so I watched Brian, I watched Bonnie go and make art, and I watched Brian go and play the pinball game machine and continue to play the pinball machine and continue to watch his finances degrade and everything go bad. And he was still sitting there playing the pinball machine. And I realized, fuck me, this is an accurate reflection of what is happening right now. And the war, for lack of a better word, between the impulse to play video games and lose yourself in a fantasy world and the desire to make a bunch of money.
I think it would be fair to say it's all right to have downtime and moments when you are not working.
Sure.
This is.
Well, you know what? You're right, Bryce. You got to unwind. You got to make sure that your mind is recharging, but still, our flights of fancy, our recharge moments cannot degrade from what is important in life. So, Brian, I think it's brave of you to say that you will no longer play Hearthstone this month because you are going to totally dedicate your time to your family. Everybody, a round of applause for Brian Brush.
Oh, Justin, if it were only so simple, you motherfucker.
I only bring this up because I don't want people to think that you are not allowed to have downtime. We have talked about this before. YouTube burnout, again, creative burnout, freelance burnout,
real thing
is a
of
very
course.
real thing.
Yes.
You are allowed to take time off and
also
that.
it is worth noting that Hearthstone is a particularly good video game to be playing because you can, at any given moment, you can always take 5 seconds to look your loved one in the eyes as she speaks to you. You can always give your attention
It's
to
a
the
turn-based
kids.
game.
It's a turn-based
Sure.
game, and you can always, in general, the stakes are never so high that you can't just get up and walk away from it.
Okay.
Unless you happen to find yourself in the right meteorological conditions where you happen to have a deck that is landing 65% win rates, that you are crushing it on the regs. You get to just keep on playing, and the longer the time you spend, the farther up the rank you get. And I swear to God, Justin, I was there. I had rank 2 5 stars. I was technically, depending on how you squint, at rank 1, only 4 games away from motherfucking legend. For the uninitiated,
So every month, all of the ranks reset because they call it seasons, and so based on your previous rank in the previous season, you start with it's like qualifying for the next season. So,
April 23rd right now.
So there's 1 week left in the season, basically.
I have a moral conundrum on my hands.
Ooh.
I am on the upswing. What do I do? What do I do, Justin?
Well, Brian,
Oh no.
you're not going to just out and out use this platform as a way to say you're not playing Hearthstone. Then it seems as if the only way forward is to play Hearthstone so well you save your marriage.
Well, okay. So this is the weird part. Like 20 years ago, it was a very clear thing. I was definitely morally in the wrong. I should not have been playing System Shock 2. I should not have been discovering Shodan and all that stuff. However, we're in a different place now. I'm literally waiting for HQ to finish getting built. Do you realize that the steel shows up this week? We have to figure out how to set up a time lapse so that we can take photos of the warehouse being made and all that.
Right.
Like, there's not a lot that I have to do. Penny is done. I was taking my daughter to school every day. It's like my list of to-dos, Justin. I'm looking to you for support and acknowledgement. Like, my list of to-dos is not a lot. I can get away with like 90 minutes a day of to-dos. Like, wouldn't I technically be the villain if I didn't go for Legend?
What? Wait. Hold on.
Brian, I'm looking you right in your eye right now.
Yes.
I'm looking across the square, and I'm staring you right in the eye when I tell you that I'm not touching this domestic dispute. I gotta be in Austin for 3 days, and Bonnie as an enemy, not something that I'm so fucking stupid that I would do before I come into town. I will say this. You are very close to Legend. So, while I will give you no pass for what you have done today or over the last few weeks, in fact, I would, for political reasons, say it's morally reprehensible. I will say that if maybe, I don't know, there were a economic benefit that, let's say, after this stream is done, after we're done with Night Attack, we normally do an after show, and instead of talking more, we did the same kind of talking, but Brian was also playing Hearthstone on stream. Then, you know, that would seem to be an opportunity. People could maybe give in some bits, maybe donate money for Bonnie, maybe buy Bonnie something nice right here on the stream. Maybe that would be something that would bring Brian so close to Legend, he could bang it out either tonight or early tomorrow, and next thing you know, piff, poof, it's all over. You're Legend, Bonnie's happy, and maybe there's a little treat for her in the offing. I think this would be a fine way to settle the mess your irresponsible behavior from 20 years ago to today has brought upon you. You can solve your problem of playing too many video games by playing video games.
I mean, if only you hadn't said exactly what I was thinking in that funny voice.
Look.
Until then, Orthodox is back, baby, on the after show, which is why you need to be a patron at patreon.com/Night Attack, where you can get this climactic stream, a stream that may or may not end Brian's marriage.
Yes.
For anybody else, if you head on over to patreon.com/Night Attack.
My goodness, man. Head on over to patreon.com/Night Attack. Of course, you can join the 1,000+ people who keep us loud, live, and independent. But most importantly, if you are a new pledger or somebody who raises your pledge, you have a chance to randomly be called out in a little thing we like to call...
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Night Attack new Patreon name chant corner hour.
So much.
For the buck, fucko!
Dude, we have a first time ever. First time ever. How many times have we done this?
The name chant corner hour?
Sure.
Hundreds of times.
57,000 times.
That's a lot, right? How many
Hell
times
yeah.
have we had two people give one pledge?
Never.
That's right.
Never. Not once. No.
That's right. So I would like to believe that this was a compromise that was presented to a couple in the middle of couples therapy. Bryce, if you would play the therapist.
Okay. Yeah, hello. Please come take a seat.
Justin, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hello, it's us. We're here for therapy. My name is Steve Reinecker.
Hi, Steve.
This is my partner.
I'm so upset. You say my name.
Okay. Sorry. This is Steve Reinecker, and of course, I am Jill Bryant.
Oh, Steve, Jill, hello, come in, please.
Listen, we have a big dispute about how we feel about Night Attack.
Oh, please. Okay, well, if I can hear from Steve first. What's
Steve Reinecker,
Sure,
my
yes.
partner.
You're goddamn right. My name is Steve Reinecker. And if I was one thing I learned from my father, Al Reinecker, it's that Night Attack's the best show that ever existed. And if
Here we go again.
Now, Jill, please, Jill, let him finish the sentence, and then you'll have your
Sorry,
chance.
go ahead.
Right,
Steve Reinecker?
I'll start the sentence again. If this bitch doesn't get it through her
Now,
head.
Steve, that's aggressive language here. Now, we don't like the aggressive language here, Steve Reinecker.
All right. Let her go.
Jill,
well, listen.
please, what do you think about
My
Steve?
mother told me that I was named Jill a long
Jill
time
Bryant.
ago.
Yeah, that's right.
Jill Bryant, that's right. Susie Bryant, my mother,
Yeah.
said that Larry Bryant named me Jill Bryant for a very specific reason. And she said it was because I was destined for great things. And then I met Steve Reinecker,
That's right.
who also seemed to share the exact same prophecy. I didn't know if I believed it or not. And then here we found ourselves listening to Night Attack, and I'm not going to deny it. Things were a little bit feisty between the two of us,
Okay.
and one of us, I can't remember whom, said, "Well, why don't we try getting crazy and pledging some money to Night Attack?"
I see. Now, Steve believes that Night Attack is the best show. Am I saying? Am I capturing your impression?
You're goddamn right. And it's the same thing my grandfather, Adolphus Reinecker, told me when I was but a lad.
Okay, now we can just bring that down to like a 5 or so. Now, Jill, do you agree or disagree with that idea?
Well, what are we gonna agree that gravity goes down? That night is black and day is bright? I mean, yes, of course. I don't understand why he thinks it's such a revelation.
I see. So for you, this is beyond speaking. This is unspoken. This is unnecessary to be said.
Yeah.
I see. Now, Steve, how do you feel about that? Jill is saying her time is maybe more better used talking about other things.
Well, I have to say, oh no, I agree with that. I was too busy thinking of my ancestors to listen. Wow, what a breakthrough! Well, you're a great therapist.
Steve
Reinecker and Jill Bryant, thank
Yeah.
you for coming in. I'm glad we could solve this.
I thank you. I mean, unfortunately, oh my goodness, I just realized this is awkward. We'd only budgeted $1 for this session, and we already gave it to Night Attack.
I'm not hitting a button under my
Perfect.
desk.
$1.
So
I mean, I'll tell you. How about this? This is what I've always been. My great grandmother, Viola Reinecker, once told me that if you don't have money, you certainly have repeating your names in an echoey sound effect.
Oh,
So
yes.
I
So,
do
I
name
see.
it. Steve Reinecker.
Jill Bryant.
Bryce
Steve
Castillo.
Reinecker.
Okay. Also, you don't mention your name. It's a bit weird that you're saying your name. This says me, Jill Bryant.
Steve Reinecker. Take it to the bank.
And then they disappeared. Oh, that's crazy.
In the meantime,
Stevie Joe.
as our therapist,
Oh, yes.
you said Bryce Castillo.
That-
was
that's
your
right,
name?
Bryce
okay,
Castillo.
do you have a story of what happened in your life this week that's about a minute long enough for us to possibly shout out the people who are currently competing to be the Bit Boss?
You know what? I do. I saw. I watched that new Beyonce thing on Netflix.
I don't think Beyonce contributes to this podcast.
Well, she does with Captain Jack. Jack 913, of course, helped with the choreography of the thing, and then they had these great shots of the audience. You could see the Alcott there on the thing, and I definitely saw a blue-eyed ginger southpaw there. We had the
what
big
about
banner.
your man Jeff? What about your man Jeff? Was
Jeff-
he there?
Jeff had a big
About your
banner.
man, Jeff, you son of a bitch.
And then his banner said, "Oh, it just had the word Suth on it, Suth on it."
That's weird.
Yeah, I thought it was weird.
Was
too.
it a real Bonito boom crash?
It was
or
a
what?
real Bonito boom crash, especially when Solange came out and performed her song "Agent Sign."
I'm just
You
JKing
must be
206.
joking, 206.
That's right, because it really to come up with an idea like that, it really takes like real cranium boy to really kind of conceptualize it.
It's all got to be upstairs.
You know, like Dan Wally says, right?
Somebody
It's
who's got a
thinker.
mind for Hearthstone and a
That's
heart
right.
to follow.
Okay, so there we go. Thank you, everybody.
That's the first time we threw that at your feet. I
That's
think
right.
you did a pretty good job.
Okay,
of,
thank you very much.
of picking that up and
Everybody
running with
clap.
it.
Just type clap. in the
Please
chat.
clap.
Yes.
Right.
Or donate bits or whatever it is people do.
We do have a little bit of a game today, guys.
Oh,
My good God, Bryce.
is it
what the
Hearthstone?
It's not
is,
Hearthstone, I
Is
swear.
it? Is it? Am I this close to legend?
No, but you could be a legend.
Where are you right now? We are going to put a pin in Hearthstone for everybody who's like, for real, you did 2 A blocks in a row on Hearthstone. We're going to put a pin in Hearthstone, but Brian, right now, as we stand right now, where are you?
I'm very aware of how addiction works.
This is a lot of words.
Like all of a sudden, like there's part of me that feels like if there was ever a time to just give it up and walk away, now would be a good time. But all of that was reversed when I found out that I've gotten farther than you've ever gotten.
Oh,
like all of a sudden I'm like, well,
Sure.
shit, tonight's got to be the night. We got to drop everything and make this happen, right?
Okay, so I'm going to repeat the question that I initially intended to keep short. Where are you right now, rank-wise?
I got all the way to so you get 5 stars.
Feels
Then
like
you
there's
go to
only
the
a few-
next rank.
Right.
I was on the border. Depending on how you squint, I was either at the
I think it has
beginning
a
of
very-
rank 1
Yeah.
or
where you were, where are you now?
It sounds like you're at 2.
I know I'm at 3.
Okay.
Today
Yeah,
I
3
learned
and
about the
what-
concept
what-
of going tilt.
What stars? 3 and what stars?
3 and 4 stars. 3 and 4 stars.
So you're almost at 2.
I'm a game away from being back at
Negative
2.
2.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, good. Now, let's get to a game that's not going to ruin Brian's family.
Hopefully. So this is a game that I've called Cause and Effect. Have you're gonna
Yes. This is the controversial decision about whether or not you are allowed to trademark the name.
No.
Oh.
What are you talking about?
You don't know about this.
I don't know.
There's somebody who's like, do you remember
We have
that-
not talked about this game. Yeah, but
There was a fashion brand that was like
FDR?
UKC or something like that.
Okay.
Where it was close to fuck, but just mixed up letters.
I see.
So somebody's gotten closer to it and it sought a trademark for FUCT, which
fucked.
people are now not comfortable saying on the radio or whatever.
Sure.
And so the question is like, well, who are you, government, to? Is that a First Amendment thing of you can and can't do trademarks?
I see. Okay. Well, that's not quite what this is about. You ever go to that reddit.com? One of the subreddits. One of the
That's great. That's a great site.
That's right. It's one of the biggest ones. One of the best ones that they got. They have a subreddit there called r/TIFU. Do you guys know TIFU?
Today I found up yours.
Almost. Very close.
Oh, really?
Very close, actually.
Today I
Justin.
found out?
Hey, I found you.
Oh,
like-
Oh, today I
There-
fucked up. That's what it is. Today I fucked up.
That's
It's today I fucked up.
that's right. It's a sort of a cathartic community, right? People kind of
This is where
they
people
share their
write
stories of how
their
they fucked
horrific
up.
stories of fucking up. Okay, great.
Right.
If I remember correctly, I peeked in there. They come in almost always under a throwaway account and
Right.
then
And they
anonymously
tell
tell
a
a
story
story.
of something
Okay,
that,
great.
that either just happened in the vein of today or in the past. So I'm going to read you a part of a TIFU post, and you will have to tell me at a break point what you think the person fucked up or is about to fuck up.
Okay.
Or the results of their life, and whoever is closest, as determined by science, will get a point. Most points at the end of the game wins. We have 5 questions in this example, so we'll do this example round. You both are going to answer, so it's not you against the house. One of you is going to win. So, for example, we have this story from Reddit user Cow Rigby 1988. They wrote, okay, so 2 weeks ago, my neighbors were moving out. We were helping them, and they had furniture and stuff that they were throwing away and said we could keep any of it that we wanted. I took a small side table, a wooden chair, and a cute mid-century modern low-boy dresser with a mirror. One of the bottom drawers in the dresser needed the track replaced or repaired. I tried looking on the dresser for a hint of what brand it was. I found a serial number, but searching that turned up nothing. So I'm moving out of state soon and decided I don't have time to fix it, and I might as well sell it, and someone else can fix it. I got about 10 responses within 30 minutes of posting it. I had a guy lined up to come and take it for $40 and another one to come up if he didn't show up. So the guy shows up, we load it in his truck, and he says his wife loves repainting and refinishing furniture. After he leaves, I let the other person know that it was sold. He thanks me for letting him know and tells me he likes those dressers and has redone 2 others just like it while mentioning the brand and the line name. So, at this point in the story, I asked both of you, Brian and Justin, what's the e-fucked? What do you think happens to this
I
person?
think he gave away something that was worth a tremendous amount of money.
I think he fucked up by phrasing the offer in such a way that people showing up thought it was something sexual. Like the way he fucked up, the way he fucked up was like, my girl wants to give up her treasure chest. And people showed up expecting to have sex, but instead realized it was an offer for furniture.
So you're saying
poorly phrased that came across
Yeah.
sexual.
Giving away my broken bottom drawer.
Yeah, there you go.
$40 OBO.
My girl's big back end has to go. Who wants to have at it? Like that
Sure.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Low boy dresser for for sale.
Yeah. Get your hands on my girl's chest.
Right.
Like that kind of
Mirror included. Yeah.
Like, what are you doing not here with your paws on my girl's jam? And then it was like a drawer that was wedged or something.
I see. All right. Well, here's the rest of the story. So naturally, I looked up the dresser that he mentioned. Well, come to find out, there's a few in that line, but the one that I had has several listings on various websites, priced from $1,100 to $1,900 without the mirror. So yes, the dress had a few minor flaws, but it could have sold it for at least a few $100s. I bet the people that got it are laughing their asses off. So that's how I fucked up by selling a dresser worth over $1,000 for $40. So Justin would have gotten that point. There you go.
Doggone it.
So that's kind of how this game.
I mean, although the most disappointing French sex farce, not far off. I feel like we're both winners.
Yeah. It was a good Mind Palace moment. That
Mind
class-
Palace moment.
classifieds moment. Okay, so we're gonna go to round one. This is from user Inri137. Inri writes, I guess this is 3 decades in the making, but I only discovered it Saturday, so it feels like a fresh fuck up. This weekend, I was eating a sandwich with some extra sharp Parmigiano Reggiano cheese flakes on it, and I made the
Pause. I swear to God, this is the most Reddit fucking shit I've ever fucking heard. Resume.
I see. With some extra sharp Parmigiano Reggiano cheese flakes on it, and I made a comment over the voice chat with my friends that it was so good, but it was so sharp it was tearing up my mouth. I had a momentary pause before a chorus of puzzled friends chimed in at the same time to ask me to elaborate. So we'll start with Brian here. What's the effect here?
What did he say that it was?
Quote, that it was so good, but so sharp it was tearing up my mouth.
I want to say that that's a literal assessment and that he thought crushed glass was cheese.
Okay.
So your guess is, man, for cultural or educational reasons, lived his life for 3 decades believing that crushed glass was cheese.
All right. Thank you for reminding me of that setup.
That's right.
And you know what? I'll double down on it. Not only that, he just found out.
Say who's making it at home.
Yes. I commit to the bit. He thought fiberglass was fromage.
Fibermage. All right, Justin, what do you think the effect was of this story?
I'm actually not far from Brian in that I think he believed that if they were flakes, that I don't know, maybe that he kept the foil in the cheese, or like the foil wound up getting mixed into the like some of the packaging became contaminated with what he was eating.
That would track. So like if you thought you were supposed to just eat the brick of cheese with
like the
wrapping
wheel
around it
with the wax wheel. Okay.
And then it was cutting your mouth. You're like, ooh, well, what am I gonna do? When in Rome, eat the cheese.
Sure.
And then
Notorious cheese lovers, the Romans.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here's...
So I'm going to say that this man fucked up because he is eating the packaging of the cheese.
I see. All right. Here's the rest of the story. His friends had asked him to elaborate. It's extra sharp. It really cuts and burns my gums and the roof of my mouth. And that's when my friends informed me that none of them have had this reaction, and furthermore, no one has this reaction. I hear several keyboards going at once, and our best WebMD-style guess is that I have an allergic reaction to some histamines common in sharp cheeses, and that I've had this reaction for 30 years, and that I always assumed everyone had it. I figured the mild sharp spectrum for cheeses was like the mild hot spectrum for spicy foods. I love spicy foods. I love sharp cheeses. I thought they were the same kind of thing, where they were supposed to hurt you a little bit. Apparently sharp just means flavorful or tangy. I'm giving that to Brian.
God damn it!
Why would you?
That he would be glass. I guess it is glass to somebody who's allergic. It's more like glass than plastic. Right. So, God damn it!
Yeah. So there we go. It's 1 point to Brian. Here's round 2.
All right.
This is from user...
By the way, in honor of Brian, Baby's Day outing his way into another fucking point. So I'm reading the Mueller report.
Worthy pause points in this episode. Keep going.
And all I can think of is that Donald Trump Baby's Day outed his way out of impeachment.
It's like he's like it's like he committed as many attempted felonies as possible.
He's crying. He's like, fire that guy, and he's like, no.
Yeah. You're so right.
Somewhere else.
Because he's like, fire that guy. And then everybody pauses and they're like, why? And they're like, because I don't like him investigating me and I would prefer to obstruct this attempt at bringing justice.
And everyone says yes and they don't do it.
Yes.
All I can think of is throughout all of it, I'm like, oh my God, that motherfucker, like, and then imagine you're a team of career investigators, and you're like, God damn, this motherfucker Baby's Day out in his way of fucking obstruction.
What's funny is the Mueller report, I can't believe I'm the first one to bring this up, but it's like, I watched the movie Midnight Run with Robert De Niro and Charles Grodin. The pivotal moment at the end of that movie is that they have some blank floppy disks, but they say the evidence is on these disks. And it doesn't matter that there's nothing on the discs as long as the bad guy believes there's something on the discs and grabs it. And I'm just like, did none of you guys watch Midnight Run? It seems like this is relevant.
It was like reading it, I was just like, it might as well have been the president then crawled his way out to the end of a steel beam, only to take not one but 2 full crawling motions off the end of the steel beam to land on another steel beam that was swinging in the opposite direction, landing him harmlessly onto another trestle. Like, it's just, I don't know. All right, anyway, next question.
Okay. All right, we got round 2 here. This is from user Dankus917. Dankus917. Early this morning, I woke up extremely parched. It was still dark, but I instinctively grabbed the cup I was drinking from last night. Hallelujah, I thought. There's still something in it, and I don't have to go to the sink. I took a gulp and was relieved. However, the moment of relief quickly turned to utter panic. I felt something tickling my hand and immediately flipped on the light. Justin, we're going to start with you. What is the effect of this cause?
I thought for sure this was going to be vodka instead of water. Halfway through.
Which, by the way, pause within a pause. I don't know if I've shared this story before, but friends of ours who make T-shirts for a living and some other stuff. They thought it would be hilarious to take their Ozarka spring water thing and empty out the water, fill it with vodka, and put it up there. And look at us,
a
we
water
have
cooler
vodka on tap, right? That was hilarious for all involved until after a raucous night of partying, somebody woke up and really just wanted the crisp, cool refreshment of having a nice glass of water. It did not go well.
Oh my God. All right. Pause within a pause within a pause. So I'm reading the Star Report.
Oh,
All right, Justin, we're starting with you on this one. What do you think?
I
happened?
think it's a bug. He all of a sudden there had been roaches or a spider, an insect of some kind in the water. So he drank the water and then also found out that something was nesting in there.
All right. Justin says bugs.
can you give me the broad strokes of where he was? Was this?
It was in bed and grabbed the cup.
In bed grabbing the cup. What would be in the cup?
Cups, tin cups, raw cups.
I'm suddenly Batman from the 1960s.
Yeah, cups, the Anna Kendrick song. Robin.
Yeah. C cup is a large breast and memory. Oh, remember the memories of the C cups and.
Remember the Alamo?
Is it the Alamo?
Did he remember the Alamo?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with I don't know, gross shit. It's like it's a spit.
No, but something was crawling. He felt a tingling on his hand, a crawling on his hand.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'm still gonna go with it was somebody's spit cup from Dip.
Spit cup.
Oh, Dip cup.
Dip cup.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So they flipped on the light. Quote, to my horror, there were about a dozen ants crawling along my hand and at least 3 dozen more inside the glass of juice. I let out a screech and rushed into the bathroom, looked into the mirror, and witnessed an absolute nightmare. Ants crawling in, out, and around my mouth. Full on. Yeah.
Can we talk real quick about that brief period when a show that I'm very much a fan of, Smodcast with Kevin Smith, was sponsored by Fleshlight.
Oh, okay.
Right? And every episode, he was talking about how he puts his dick in a rubber pussy and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And then they spend like 30 minutes
He pones it, yeah.
talking about how he left his Fleshlight uncleaned. And because he lives in Southern California, he woke up to it completely invaded and enveloped and covered by sugar ants.
Ah. He should probably check his diet then.
Oh.
Well, because
unexpected twists go on.
Bryce, he then later suffered a heart attack and had to change his diet dramatically. He's a vegan now.
Because your semen, the flavor of your semen and the contents of your semen are very much affected by your diet. If he was eating a lot of
Bryce,
sugary sweets.
I'm going to ask you a personal question.
Okay.
Telling me that if you were to walk out on a hot Austin summer day and bust a fat jizz rope right on the street, that it would not be consumed by ants?
No, I'm saying it would. I drink a lot of soda.
So you're saying this was foreshadowing. What you're saying is this was a ominous portent of at the very beginning.
Yes. Yeah, I believe it.
All right.
To finish off the story, by the third or fourth rinse, they were confident that all the ants had been evacuated or swallowed. The lesson I've learned in my window was some kind of Silk Road for ants. And based on the number
Silk Road for ants.
And based on the number of them, they've done this before. I will not be bringing food or drink to bed anymore. So we're giving that one to Justin. That's a very solid hit.
God damn it.
Solid home run. All right, round 3.
A very, very good point. A possible marketing strategy by Zoplonics. Drink Coke. Makes your cum sweet.
True fact.
True fact. All right, here we go. We got round 3 here. This is from user Such Obvious Throwaway. So this is a throwaway account. It all started a couple years ago when I first ran into a video of people being told they were beautiful. I'm not a fan of the genre, but there was a gorgeous girl on the thumbnail that really caught my attention. I felt so attracted to one of the girls in the video that I ran through the comments and on the video to try and find her name or Instagram account. It turns out she did have an Instagram account, but she had closed it after the video came out because, to say the least, I was not the only person who found her, quote, insanely attractive. I managed to find out what her full name was, and I found her LinkedIn page. I am full on stalking at this point because she wasn't just a pretty girl, I'm talking mind-blowingly beautiful. About a month ago, she popped into my mind again. I saw that she had removed the video, that she had been removed from the video.
Can we pause just at this point?
Yeah. This is a creep. This is very creepy and
right.
should not do.
Like there's that moment that he invites us to join him in his world, where he says, "It's not just because I'm a stalker, but she's insanely beautiful."
very
At which point, everybody reading, projects what they perceive insanely beautiful, and it's like him saying, like, I agree. It would be messed up if it was a normal human being, but she was insanely beautiful. So you're with me on this journey, right?
Yeah. Can we come to a meeting of the minds here, boys? Though, is the creepy thing the Googling, or is the creepy thing the writing? Because I think it's the chronicling of what you did that makes it creepy.
Oh, posting about it?
Everybody. I mean, look, you see something that interests you, could be a football team, an old memory. I literally did a half hour today on the stream about James Bond Jr., the old animated series. You Google around, you figure out everything you can. I don't think seeing a pretty girl on the internet is really any different. The weird part is that you felt the need to chronicle about it, and apparently it got him into some kind of sticky situation.
Well, okay, so
And remember, we're not done with the story here. So, but yeah.
yes, but I'm talking about the ethics of it.
To this point.
But okay,
I think looking for more information on this girl is not out of bounds.
yes, she
About
is
it.
attractive, and you find her enticing. But what if, Justin, you found out that she had never, ever gotten higher than rank 3 on Hearthstone? Would you still is that the real crime? Is that you're still looking?
I'm gonna rugby toss that hoe.
All right, so we continue the story. I saw that she had been removed from the video and that all the comments talking about her or even mentioning her first name were deleted. She now had a public Instagram account with like 5 posts, and her bio said you can follow her on her private account if you know her in person. An idea came to my mind. We're going to start with Brian. How do you think he fucked up? Because this boy fucked up.
Well, yes, he fucked up by publicly. Oh shit! I think he actually got arrested. I think he fucked up by publicly telling exactly the story that you just told. I think by unquestionably stalking this girl in a public forum in public, that's how he fucked up.
I see. Okay, so he's been arrested. All right, Justin, what do you think?
I think he fucked up by taking information from her LinkedIn page. He created an elaborate lie to get approved on, like, he made another burner account that would make it seem like he was somebody that she either went to school with or worked at another company, like ripped off somebody's Instagram account. He went deep creep and invented a reason to penetrate that defensive wall.
Deep creep penetrates would be a great Fox News headline. I agree.
Yeah, Fox News alert.
Fox News alert. Deep creep penetrates. Yep, Anthony Weiner's back in the news.
All right, here's the rest of the story. An idea came to my mind, and I relocated her LinkedIn page. I decided to make an Instagram page for her most recent workplace according to it. It was a music event company in Europe. I worked pretty hard just to make sure my page looks legit. I kept thinking I have to convince that girl that I'm actually the company she used to work for.
Oh my God, this is not creepy. I mean, yes, it's a fuck up, but it's like you're describing a full on crime.
I requested to follow her, and she didn't accept the request, so I started thinking she might not fully believe that the account was really official.
This is the mind of an actual stalker. Are you kidding me?
So I changed the profile picture to the company's logo, I added the company's actual phone number to the bio, and even went as far as to follow people who actually work there. I then started posting pictures from their Facebook page. Before I realized what I was doing, I was actually running the official Instagram account for that music event company I have never worked for or had even heard of. The account started gaining followers, and musicians from the country that company exists in started liking my posts. The employees of that company probably think I'm in social media and opened a new account for them, and now I'm doing their job for them, simply because I had this stupid idea. I might live in a different continent, but it seems that I'm now officially managing this company's social media account. She never accepted the follow request.
Also, like at this point, I question not so much the ethics of what this person did, so much as the logic by which he wanted to say this belonged on /r/TIFU, because It sounds like TIFW'd is I fucking won.
Well, and let me see if I can pull up the headline here, but it's today I fucked up by where is it? Oh, it's pretty far down here. We went today I fucked up by going to ridiculous lengths to follow a girl's private Instagram account and ended up managing social media for some random company. Because it's not like he got hired.
No.
It's not like he came out with a job.
I feel like that's a fairly appropriate punishment for being a creepster, is he didn't fucking get accepted by the girl, and now feels obligated to run a free social media account for a random foreign company.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
So that's the point to Justin.
So in other words, your point, Justin, is that this is misposted. It belongs in Instant Karma, not in TIFW or TIFU.
The universe empties itself out appropriately, and the shame and punishment fell on him very, very accurately.
All right, we have two more here. Justin gets that point. It's 2-1 here. Round 4. This is from user Choochman and Bose. They write, my boyfriend and I aren't very good at bringing each other to orgasm. It's not like either of us feels uncomfortable or whatever. It's just that both of us take a really, really long time to get there, and neither of us really have the stamina to achieve it. We're pretty chill with handling it. It's not really a big deal to us, and we've been together for like a year and a half just fine. After having another one of our unsuccessful orgasm-less romps, my boyfriend declared that he was going to take a shower now. I told him I was a bit tired, so I would try to go back to sleep. Which was true, but as soon as I heard him start the shower, I had a better idea. Sexy shower times. Even after he turned the shower on, I waited before I went in, since I had a pretty good suspicion he was going to use the toilet first. After a few minutes, I heard the flush, and then waited just a few more minutes for safety before I tiptoed into the bathroom. Justin, I think we're going to start with you on this one. How do you think they fucked up?
So she fucked up, right? Because it is in first person, right?
Sure. That feels like conceptually what's happening here.
Safe to assume.
Yeah.
So I am going to assume that he had the shit of his life, and she's going to be walking in on him still shitting. We have no information in the story that lets us know that the shit is done. He just flushed once.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe like this is just going to be like the fucking Old Man and the Sea of shit.
I see.
Hemingway style, long form prose about the kind of shit this guy is taking, the likes of which their orgasmless relationship can never survive when she feasts her eye on this massive shit.
Okay, so he was kind of doing a courtesy flush, but he's still doing work.
Because this one for the ages.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to be telling his, if he can ever come, grandkids about this shit that he took.
Gotcha. All right, Brian, what do you think? They tried to have sexy times. He went to the shower. She waited for the flush. She tiptoed in.
I'm trying to think of reasons that there would be a flush. And yet there was still something for her to walk in upon. I don't feel like it would merit a Reddit post of TIFU for her to walk in and he's jerking off in the shower or whatever, which makes me think that maybe he caught a couple of the children on their way out and then flushed the rest, and like
Poop children.
he was full on eating shit when she walked around. Today I fucked up by walking in on my boyfriend eating his own shit.
So consuming, not in the metaphorical sense, but actually eating fecal matter.
Consumption, yeah.
Correct.
He grabbed his own shit and he's eating it.
Right. He was stricken with consumption. That's a common phrase people say.
That's
Yes.
right. That's right. All right, here we go. Opening the door just a smidge, I realized curiously that my dear boyfriend was not in the shower. Then I glimpsed to the left where he was masturbating on the toilet and was just in time to catch the picture-perfect moment as he came into the toilet. I shut the door as fast as I could, and I could not stop screaming, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." It wasn't the fact that I saw my boyfriend masturbating, it was just seeing him on the toilet and then coming into the toilet wasn't the image I pictured when I was going into the bathroom. He came out of the toilet, out of the bathroom, toweled, and with the sorriest, most embarrassed smirk I'd ever seen. I told him that I only went in without knocking because I already heard him flush once, so I figured he was already in the shower. He confessed that that was the shit he took that he flushed, and that because I interrupted just as he was coming, it had made him tighten his nuts or something like that really bad, and now it felt like he had blue balls. I'm a girl, I don't understand that shit at all, but yeah, so much for spontaneity. Justin, that's you, my man. That's all you.
All right.
You had it. You had it, Bryce.
I don't know, Bryce. I feel like we have to run that one through the science machine one more time.
What does that sound like? It's been so long since I've heard the science machine.
I have to go turn it on right now. Click. Yeah, no, it still says Justin got it. I mean, I'm happy to verify, but yeah, I think
It's good to know that we double checked though. We ran it through the science machine again.
I kind of do want to explore, like, why do you post this in TIFU? Because it sounds to me like TIFU means today I fucked up. It doesn't mean today I encountered a logical discussion point to achieve more sexual congruence with my lifelong partner.
I mean, honestly, look, you could do for so much, like just psychoanalyzing Reddit could be its own subreddit.
Sure.
Of just finding these posts and saying like, well, very clearly to everybody, you and your boyfriend have either a lack of a chemistry or some kind of sexual dysfunction that is keeping you guys from orgasming. He obviously wanted to orgasm, so after having an unsuccessful time with you, he did not feel that he had the intimacy to say, hey, could we try something different that would maybe bring me to orgasm? Instead, I'm going to take care of things me style. After taking a shit, I'm going to bust a nut in the toilet.
yeah. I mean, so her original headline was today I fucked up by trying to surprise my boyfriend in the shower. So it's not that like she's in trouble. She feels embarrassed because she caught him.
It sounds like the TIFU was today I fucked up by realizing that I fucked up years ago when the two of us did not have honest, open dialogue about our sexual preferences. That's the FU and the TIFU.
I don't think she's quite so defeatist about the nature of the relationship. I think they both kind of understand where they're at.
Thank you. I'm so glad you got my back on this one, Justin. I was afraid I was alone, but like let's deconstruct this shit. Sounds like they got some shit to fix, right?
No, come on. Look, I think that everybody would benefit in their own relationship being more open and honest with their partner. I feel like if they were to go down a road of more honesty, then the issue would not be, oops, I walked in on him jerking off. It would be, hey, there's probably a different phase of our relationship that we should deal with.
And By the way, for the record, I assume that we're all on the same page where it's like you don't go 1 to 1,000 miles an hour all at once. Instead, it's a journey as you speed up and you get on the same page with your significant other as you go forward. Right. So in this case, it feels to me like this is a checkpoint on the way to parity for the two of them. And yes, it's being spoken about now is like, oh, I fucked up. Ugh. I mean, he's jerking off. What does that mean? Like, yes, okay, we get it. You ran across him jerking off. Now you're going to have the discussion about what his needs are and what your needs are, and you're going to get healthier and happier and better all together. But
and silver lining, he busted that nut in the toilet, so at least you won't have ants.
Which, by the way, like that opening line of like, so anyway, we're the type of couple that just does an orgasm. Like that moment, instantly, I'm like, hold on, what's up? What's going on here? What's that thing?
Are we giving out relationship advice again?
Yes. As fast as we can while we play Hearthstone. It's called Hearth and Oats.
I see. Stay tuned for the after show. All right, last round here. It's currently 3-1. Justin's in the lead. Unfortunately, this one's for 4 points, so it's still anybody's game.
Fortunately. You definitely mispronounced unfortunately as fortunately.
This is from user I Stuff My Butt, who writes, excuse me, let this be a cautionary tale to men who choose to tickle the devil's almond. A lady friend.
Bip, 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 boop, boop. The devil's almond. Is that the clit?
It's not the Brothers Band?
Well, okay, so the obvious one is...
Let this be a cautious tale to men who choose to tickle the devil's almond.
The devil's almond, the obvious thing by shape is the clit, but the fact that it's the devil's almond makes me feel like maybe you are licking a hemorrhoid as if it is the clit.
Wait. Is it flick or lick?
Tickle the devil's almond.
No, I think that's the old. Listen, there's amateurs, and then there's pro straights.
The devil's almond as a prostate.
That's a good pro strat on that joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
That's what I would guess the devil's almond would be. Butt stuff.
All right.
It's okay. All right. We'll find out.
We'll find out. Here we go. A lady friend showed me some outrageous fantasy dildos that she's really into. Like wild shit from dragon cocks and you name it. Well, I was browsing the site, and the thing that caught my eye was a hyper-realistic dog penis. A red rocket with the knot and all. It's called the Rex model. What I like about the canine anatomy is the curious knot at the base of the penis. In dildo form, it makes for an excellent deep anal plug. I got Rex a few weeks before and have been slowly getting used to him, I guess. It feels great, fully inserted, and it stays in. So I decided to take a bath and unwind with Rex, my dildo, in my butt. We're gonna. I think we're starting with Brian on this one.
Sorry. Wait. So the question is, what's the fuck up? Because I'm still on what is the devil's almond. like I'm still trying to solve that part of the puzzle.
It's the prostate.
Okay.
It's the prostate. Yeah, you have to. The game is you have to tell me how they will fuck up or how they did fuck up.
I'll tell you what. This is the kind of thing that Brian should go to a 2-shot on while I restart my Skype.
Sure. Yeah. Of course.
Apparently, there's certain trigger words that get Justin very
excited.
He
doesn't love hearing about almonds. He's very concerned about the environment.
Funny when he's that aroused.
Yeah, it's a lot of water usage. Yeah. So.
All right, the devil's almond.
So he decided to take a bath and unwind with Rex, my dildo, in my butt.
So nothing about this so far seems like you would have a story that is. I assume the fact that it's a dog cock is relevant. And so, and yet nothing about the story leading up to this has made it relevant, which makes me feel like the title must be something dog cock related. Maybe it's about what they said when they're in this state, by barking like a dog or something dog related.
Sure.
I want to say
like
it was
a social interaction.
They verbalized something about the fact, like I don't know, maybe they're dirty talking to themselves about the fact that they have a dog cock in their butt.
So, I guess overheard dirty
Also,
talk.
I'm so proud of our show.
This is one dude who's just in his bathtub by himself, right? As far as we know in the story.
It does sound like there's a significant other in the picture, right?
No, it was a friend of
A lady
his
friend
was
showed me
talking about dildos.
dildos.
Oh, shit. I don't know if that changes anything. I mean, I assume there's some kind of like being discovered in that moment.
Okay, so
Or being recorded or turning out. Turns out he was live streaming on
Becoming a-
Twitch on Hearthstone.
well, so on some level, being exposed, I guess, is kind of the crux
Yeah.
of your answer here.
Yeah.
All right, Juice. What do you think?
Well, you know, dogs, they're very loyal. Some dogs, well, they'll stray. Other dogs just stay home. You know, burrow deep inside you. They're really a part of you for a long time. And lo, that is what I believe happened to Rex. I believe that this dog dildo got stuck up this man's butt.
You think this ends at like in an ER and he's just like 1 in a million, doc, 1 in a million.
Yep, as I believe it was a David Tell line. You need a pair of ice tongs and a friend who can keep a secret.
All right, so you're gonna say that the Rex got stuck.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I see.
That's got to be it.
All right, well let's finish off the rest of the story here. There's a little bit on this. So, they wrote, "I've done this before, but I guess I was just relaxing too hard or something. I was just kind of focusing on relaxing
too hard.
and enjoying the feeling of my butt stuffed when suddenly my heart rate started increasing and my dick got rock hard without doing anything. I could hear my pulse in my ears and my whole body started to buzz. A continuous wave of pleasure was coming over me. I was loving it, and my abdomen and my arms began to almost cramp. My abs tensed up so much that I was almost doubled over, my forearms and wrists contracted, and my hands contorted into clubs with my fingers rigid and fixed. I could not move my fingers, hands, or wrists. I say almost cramped because it was just uncontrollable contracting, but it wasn't painful. But I was laying down in the bathtub with water up to my face and progressively losing motor function of my body as I fell down a well of orgasmic psychedelia. I was taking a huge...
Did he almost drown from coming too hard?
I was taking huge, deep breaths of air. The ride just kept getting more and more intense, and I felt like I was going to pass out. My body slipped forward as my legs began to contract, and my face was underwater. Instinctively, I managed to roll over, and in a moment of clarity, realized that I have to get out. I leveraged myself up out of the water on my right elbow. Worried if I left Rex inside that I would continue to orgasm and pass out, I used the partially more functional club attached to my left arm to extricate the dildo. Using my elbows, upper arms, and back of my wrist for mobility, and clumsily forced myself over the rim of the bathtub onto the bathroom floor in a state of immobilization. My hands, arms, face, and torso contorted and disconnected from the conscious world, unable to move or process thought for what felt like a few minutes. I could only breathe, and breathe I did. For a few fleeting moments, I reconsidered my life choices thus far. Yes, he almost drowned, fucking himself in the bathtub.
Okay, look. Remember when we did the whole thing about like reading Amazon reviews that secretly there were comedy pieces that were just using the venue of Amazon reviews as their forum? I feel like maybe this is a different piece of art
You think this is fake?
that is being written in a counterfactual forum.
I'm just saying, if there's an Amazon affiliate code for dog dicks at the end of it, then I sense some viral marketing afoot.
Oh shit, that would be
That man coming so hard he fucking almost drowned. That's a hell of a ringing endorsement. That's a lot of ants.
question.
Okay, so this is you're on the train that this is all viral marketing, organic marketing.
Not even so much selling something, so much as just somebody's using this forum to tell a sexy story.
Oh, wait, hold on. Here's another one I just found. Today I fucked up. As I was in my bathtub working on my modern road puzzle box, I found myself orgasming so hard.
I mean, that's kind of what I'm getting at. is that it just feels like
A letter from Penn House.
yes, exactly. Just or likewise.
This doesn't seem like I have no doubt that it is probably fabricated because it's Reddit and everything is probably fabricated on stuff like that. But I will say, if you're going to tell the most convincing lie, you say something that is plausible. The idea that somebody fucking hit their fucking butt nugget so hard that they fucking left the plane of consciousness, not the craziest thing on the planet.
All right.
Like it seems fairly plausible.
I'll tell you what. In the interest of simplicity, let's say we solve this. I'm going to wager whatever points I have at whatever ratio you want to give me.
Okay.
Justin, yes
Yeah.
or no? Can you buy a dog dick dildo on Amazon?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
And you're gonna take the no on that, Brian?
I mean, I have to. I offered the line. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna need 1 minute. What do you think? What do you think I should be searching for?
Dog dick dildo. Because that is the object that we're looking
I'm
to see.
just
if
trying
it
to vamp.
exists
I just need a few minutes of vamping. Is really what I'm trying to get at. Is that I kind of am trying to. I need to do a little bit of work on this.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Red Rocket Extravaganza, Lipstick FTW.
Pat Black, give yourself a bone. This old dog came rolling home. Shoot your butt nugget.
Shai Hulud, that's a Dune reference. Thank you. All right. I'm glad you were laughing, Justin.
Lassie got stuck in your well.
All right, I'm gonna make the call here. I do not believe you can
Tube
buy
Snake Moan.
the Bad Dragon Rex dildo on Amazon. You can get a couple of dildos though. There are some dildos on here.
It is the everything store.
What
but
is the closest
not the
thing you
dog.
find if you search Amazon for the Devil's Almond?
Are you just looking for the strangest dildos you can find on Amazon right now? Is that where we
on
got?
our work computer here?
Yeah, definitely logged into Brian's account. All right, here are a few things that come up when you search Devil's Almond. The Devil, a new biography by Philip C. Almond.
Okay, all right.
I guess about the devil in modern culture.
Yeah.
A Amazon
It's
Prime.
certainly listed at number 2.
An Amazon Prime video listing for an anime called Dropkick on My Devil.
Okay.
The Devil Okay, a song by Mark Almond.
Okay, I think we've gotten where we need to go.
And a cake pop machine. A machine that makes cake pops and donut holes.
Cape Cocks.
Cake
All right.
Okay, so-
Right on.
All right, so with that, I don't remember how the betting went, but I know Justin won in the game, so congrats, Justin!
You truly are the king of the Devil's Almond. Well done. Today I fucked up by taking on Justin Robert Young in a game of figuring out TIFUs.
And some people have found a listing for the dildo, but it is currently unavailable, which I think is why it's not showing up in search. So,
Oh, that's definitely a dog cock.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it was on Amazon?
Looks like
I
Rex Medium by Bad Dragon.
but
Holy shit! Yeah,
but
no,
also-
it was on Amazon. I guess it is. You can add it to your wedding registry.
yeah, it looks like that entire store sort of got delisted. I wonder why. So-
Hey, by the way, customers who bought this item also bought Romy, big animal horse penis dildo.
Yeah.
That's right. A couple of a lot of silhouettes of dogs in some of these. Oh yeah, there's a horse one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, do you guys want to see some of the questions and answers?
Yeah.
Will you restock the small version? Answer: we're currently in the works to restock for multiple toys on the Amazon site. Does this dildo have a vacuum lock or sucking cup at the bottom? Currently, Bad Dragon does not utilize vacuum lock. Suction cups are not offered on toys listed on Amazon at this time, but can be ordered through the Bad Dragon website. That was May 10th, 2016.
There we go.
Seems responsible.
Yeah.
By the way, an average 4.8 out of 5 stars.
Very okay. That's a good rating.
I wonder why it's man's best friend.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
I
well,
mean, man's best frenemy, like a competitor.
because they beat it up.
No, because it's crowding him out. It's his wife
I
is
see.
busy with there.
I see.
Hey man, you want to do a little bit of diamond time?
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, wait, sorry. I was too busy digging through these dog dick reviews that I couldn't find Diamond Time. Diamond Time is where you go to diamondclub.reddit.com or reddit.com/r/Diamond Club to shout out the projects that you would like to hear on the show. Top 3 get read every week, including Big Jim. Hey, Diamond Club. Most of you know I'm a marching band and drum corps nut. I've had the honor of performing for heads of state, national sporting events, and even a football game or two. But today, I'm coming to Diamond Club to ask you to consider donating to a very good cause. The Free Players Drum Corps, based out of Old Bethpage, New York, is the first and only corps that is differently abled. They've been accepted to compete with regular, quote-unquote, corps in the Drum Corps Associates League this year and could use some financial help. If band or music has ever touched your life, please consider joining me and donating at bit.ly/capital FREE lowercase DC. Again, that is bit.ly/ all caps free and then lowercase DC.
Dude, this looks wonderful. If you're not watching the video version of all this, definitely check it out. Meanwhile, Sign says, hey, D. Clizzy, I've been putting a lot of work into a few creative projects like Fake Coin, the launch of my podcast of Virtual Log, and Twitch streaming. At the core of my workflow has been my trusty Diamond Club donated early 2011 MacBook Pro. Sadly, though, therein lies the issue. This model of MacBook has a known defect, which sadly it looks like it has succumbed to. Now I'm stuck with the brick without a reliable way to do any of my content creation. But that's where you guys come in. I would be forever indebted to anyone who could chip in anything to help me repair or replace my rig. Donate at bit.ly/GetSignOnline. That's GETSCYNE online. If you can, and I'll be able to get back to try my damn hardest to keep you all entertained. Love you all, Diamond Club.
And finally, Petey Rave writes, Diamond Club. This week on a brand new Record Breakers, Petey visits Matthew Squiggles Walton in his home of Texas to discuss Matt's pickup of the uber-talented 70s rockers Hot Tuna's deliciously named album Burgers. What did the crew think of the blues-tinged rock and roll release? Find out by visiting us at recordbreakerspodcast.com or over at youtube.com/RaBellyTV, R-A-Belly TV. P.S. Subscribe and stay alert for next week's episode with a familiar face and voice sitting in our guest fourth chair. Shh, it's a surprise.
Oh wait, I clicked on the thing. It revealed the spoiler. It's Bryce.
Yeah,
it's
I'm gonna
Rex. Oh, sorry. No, Bryce.
Yeah, I'm going to be on Record Breakers for the next month. We recorded a bunch of stuff. It's very cool. A lot of different types of albums coming up in the next month. So if you're interested in, they do kind of a music book club, which is a pretty cool thing. So check that out.
Awesome.
Shall we? Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes, Diamond Time. Yeah, remember, every day, top 3 posts at diamondclub.reddit.com.
Yeah. Don't forget, you guys get to judge other people. So even if you don't want to listen to us talk about Diamond Time, you can just show up and judge other people and say, yes, this, no, that.
Upvotes and such.
Yep.
Yeah. Meanwhile, let's take a moment and do the movie draft minute.
Welcome to your Movie Draft Minute, presented by CosmicRadio.tv for the week of April 22nd, 2019. I'm your host, Roberto Villegas. You know, I haven't done IMDb movie trivia yet for the banter. Like, did you know that director Jordan Peele provides another voice cameo as the Funhouse narrator in the movie Us? Or that there was a swear jar on the set of Tim Burton's Dumbo? You know, forget it. I'll just stop on behind. Let's just go check the numbers. Team Frog Pants and Team Sword and Laser are both tied for 5th place. Still waiting for the first film. Team Hammerson is in 4th place with The Curse of La Llorona, bringing in $28.6 million, bringing their total to $57.7 million. Team Grant, The Beerist, is in 3rd place, $170.7 million. Team Nine Tack is in 2nd place with $274.5 million. And in first place, $401.3 million, it's Team John Trekker. And that is your Movie Draft Minute for the week of April 22nd, 2019.
Hey, Justin.
Hey, man, Curse of La Llorona made some money.
Yeah, relative to the amount paid for it.
For a no-name
Right.
Hispanic horror movie. I'll tell you what, man. You want to know what's going to happen next? We are going to see J-Lo or an Iglesias in a horror movie within a year. Mark my word. Because if there's $28 million opening weekend for a Hispanic horror movie with no stars, like if you put an actual like draw, like that will be big.
Yeah, to be honest, I think you're right. It's funny because I don't know if I want to go with the idea. Like, did you know that William Shatner starred in a completely Esperanto language movie? Do you know about this?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So it's like, do we want to invite more of that? Where it's like, okay, Esperanto movies, nobody's doing it. Let's do one. Let's get a star. He clearly doesn't speak Esperanto. Let's throw him in there. Like, are we in favor of that in general or no?
But to have non-language speakers in those movies?
Yes.
I mean, I think it would defeat the purpose of doing a movie like that right now, because I think the point is culturally, here is the thing
cultural
for us.
authenticity. Yeah.
Whoever the us is, and it could be on cultural lines, on racial lines, on sociological lines, like everybody just wants, we celebrate and we go and we reward the movie for us, however you want to draw that circle. And I think that's what, apparently this was connected to the Conjuring universe. So good, horror nuts will go see it because it is like with a franchise that has already succeeded. But I think the point of it, at least in the commercials that I saw, were, hey, a bunch of Hispanic people are in here, so you're going to feel cool because it's for us. I made more than Hellboy. Look at that.
Dude, Hellboy really shat the bed. Compared to what I was expecting.
Think about that. The Curse of La Llorona made $8 million more than a franchise that was at least thought of at one point to be one of the biggest heavy hitters of the summer.
Yep. Okay, so on Avengers Endgame, and I'm going to be cautious, and I'm not going to look at the chat as I say this. Have you managed to dodge the leaked information about that movie?
I don't have Twitter on my phone, Brian. Bryce,
know.
were you aware of the fact that I don't have Twitter on my phone?
I've heard such news.
So yeah, no, I've actually remained totally clean on that.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. Which should make me happy, but instead it just makes me think like, okay, so whatever the thing is that is being ruined by the leaked footage is awkward to share in a simple screenshot or whatever, because I just assume that the internet is universally awful forever, and I'm I don't know, I'm inviting trouble.
I have guesses on what something like that would be, and I would guess that it is characters dying, but I don't think that anybody is going to be shocked when they find out that they're able to defeat Thanos at the end of Endgame, or that, the characters that we thought were erased now come back. So there's not a lot that I think could be ruined for me in Endgame, but also I don't want the first time that I see a moment that might be impactful to not be at the San Francisco Alamo Drafthouse on Thursday night.
Yeah. Which, by the way, every time you go there, do you think about the fact that that's the physical location of the titular Diamond Club from the erotic fiction novel that we faked?
Every time. Every time. Every time I go there, I think that. And I don't know. It just, now it's become it's just the place that I see Marvel movies. Like I make a point, and we were lucky enough. Like I was just up at the time that those tickets went live, and we were able to get like good seats for a 9:00 showing. So it's not the first one; it's the one right after that. So it'll be good.
Do you think they figure out a way to make Captain Marvel likable in Endgame? Like that is a weird.
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't had a public opinion about Captain Marvel, so
Good point.
I would say that Captain Marvel is a character in this movie, and Marvel movies tend to be very likable. So I certainly wouldn't think that it's a weird or a bad sign that in the tag for the latest Endgame trailer, instead of having a funny quip, Captain Marvel just stares forward. In a moment where she's meeting the rest of the heroes that traditionally would be a moment where you express character. We understand that these puzzle pieces are meeting and reacting to each other. Her part of that is staring.
I mean, does she have pupils and human eyes, or just glowy eyes, or?
No, she's just Thor's trying to be a bit of a jock, and he like catches his hammer like right next to her head, and she just stares.
Just
forward.
stares. So you're saying that your read is that the character of Captain Marvel is very observant, like a watcher.
Look, I love movies. I love them. I love popcorn. I love watching movies. And don't yell at me. I don't even have Twitter on my phone. You can't hurt me.
You know what? Maybe do yell at you, because you're not going to see it on your phone.
Oh, I eventually check it, and I'll feel bad, but all at once instead of very slowly.
Your man Jeff 1 just gives one line. You're like, stoic?
They've been out there saying that she filmed all of her Endgame stuff before they filmed Captain Marvel.
Oh, thank goodness.
Well, and they were kind of saying that they hadn't quite figured out the character during Endgame.
So maybe it was before they decided to make the character
Well,
who showed up on Captain Marvel the movie.
I'm also not engaging in this discourse.
Look, I really, 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 really have faith in the Russo brothers. I feel like the Russo brothers are great. They've gotten Marvel on a level that many, many people have not. They've made my favorite Marvel movies. So
Sorry.
I got faith. And some of my favorite Arrested Development episodes.
Hey man, do we have any emails?
We do. Let's open up the mailbag.
Join us for drinks in the Diamond Club.
In the Diamond Club. That sounds grand.
Sounds super grand. We've got our email address, mail@nightattack.tv, MAIL. Like this mail from Kyle. Kyle has got a follow-up from our talk about Fringe last week. Last week we had a kind of a fiery talk about Fringe. We had a few people respond on Twitter with the with the Fringe hot takes. Kyle writes, season 1 of Fringe was a serialized clone of the X-Files, but it was in season 2 it was a successful, in my opinion, attempt at a Lost style storyline. Overall, it was a good show, and season 2 was incredibly well made, but the mythology did weaken over time, but the story was much better than X-Files' mythology. I am a huge X-Files fan, so I love the genre, says Kyle.
Yeah, probably worth investigating is whether or not Fringe just came out at the wrong time. We weren't ready for serialized long-form storytelling because it was
No.
It was 2008 to 2013.
Okay, no excuse.
So
Yeah, it was a derivative. It was either second-rate X-Files or it was second-rate Lost or second-rate Heroes. To be honest, it was more derivative of Heroes than it was
Lost.
of Lost in terms of it just being like, okay, here's a workaday story with this big, gigantic science fiction layering on top of it. All the characters still went and got coffee and did regular people things, and then all of a sudden there's this big, crazy layer there. So I don't know. Look, I'm not here to pick fight with the Fringe fans, but the show wasn't good. Fuck you.
Any other letters?
Yeah, we got a letter from Sign here. Sign writes, "Hey guys, I love all the magic news and theory talk on the magic attack recently, so let's keep it going. What do you guys think is the best way to take an off-the-shelf magic trick and give it a story that matches your character? I constantly end up buying tricks and gimmicks, but end up shelving them because I don't know how to have a place for them in my act. If you have any thoughts, or do you have any thoughts or resources on the subject? Love you, brothers, and being the #1 magic themed talk show on Twitch. Key sign." That's right, #1, baby.
interesting
with
is
a gold bullet in our teeth.
So part of the framing of his question is, after you've already bought something, how do you make it good?
How do you work it into your act? How do you assimilate it amongst the rest of the things that you do?
Well, and of course the knee-jerk reaction is like, well, don't buy it if it doesn't belong in your act or whatever. But I actually think he's onto something in that better art lives if you find yourself surrounded by constraints. For example, and specifically what I'm thinking about is when I was 19, 20 years old, the Austin Magic auction would have a lot of stuff, and I would find myself, me and my buddy Gordon would play Magic Chicken or Auction Chicken, where we would see who could bid up something and yet not buy it. And then he ended up buying 2 blocks on string tricks. I think there's value in that, because now you find yourself with a sunk cost, and you find yourself trying to figure out, like, well, shit, I suppose there's art somewhere in this. How am I going to find it? And
so intentionally putting yourself in a difficult place with something you're not sure about?
Yeah. Well, and
because it sounds like Sign does have a few things that he's bought, but maybe doesn't know what to do with. Like, it sounds like he's got a hurdle. They've got a hurdle more than a motivational issue, I guess.
So I guess what I'm imagining is there's 2 ways to approach this. There's a story that is looking for a trick, and then there's a trick that is looking for a story, right? So he's describing a trick that's looking for a story, right? Maybe figure out, number one, I think the first step is do the trick the way the trick says it wants to be done. Then, in your own mind, have an argument with the trick and explain to the trick all the things that are dumb as hell about its framing, its story, about its assumptions, all those things. And then say, now if you're going to do this right trick, describe that and then write that routine.
I see.
So here's the one thing that I feel like is another link in that chain. Because he said, how does my character do it? Right? So, Brian, I would say for you, if I were to just pull a random trick off the shelf and say, all right, this has to be in your act, you're not thinking, at least at first, how does Brian Brushwood, the magician, think of how to work it in? I think you think conceptually, no, how does Brian Brushwood, the character that's up on stage that does all these other things, that has all these other motivations, that throughout all these little performances, you see Brian be funny, knowledgeable, prideful, shamed when he goes too far. Like, there's all these character elements. How does he do this? And then that might be like, oh, well, he doesn't. He thinks that he's better than the trick, and then the trick winds up sneaking up on him and working anyway, right? And then you figure out the method that and the routine that kind of works around that. But it begins with the character. Who is the character? And the way I've always thought of this in the two of my favorite things, magic and wrestling, you know you have a good character when you can imagine them walking onto your favorite sitcom. If Piff the Magic Dragon walked onto The Office, you can imagine how everybody would react because you have a great sense for all of their characters. You would know who would think he was cute, who would feel threatened by him, who Piff would pick on, who everything that would happen. That's where you need to go to develop your character. Think about that in terms of how they would react with other well-formed characters in media, and look at the examples. Penn and Teller on The West Wing. Penn and Teller shows up and they do a trick on The West Wing. It's an entire fucking episode written by one of the best television writers of all time, because Penn and Teller are characters that can walk onto anything and react to anyone.
And I would say go a step farther and develop the routine, perform it to a level of adequacy where you can understand what this piece, as you envision it, is trying to be, and then decide, does it belong in your show? Because I think what most magicians tend to do is they have a sense of what they currently have, and then they picture something going in, and they're like, well, does that fit with everything else? And they're like, well, it doesn't fit with everything else, so the answer is no, I don't want it. Whereas
when really you have something, a valuable tool that you could use if you change the context.
Correct. Well. So what you need to do is, you have a trick, you write a routine around it, and maybe that routine is not for you. Great, sell it to somebody else. Write an essay about it, post it on your blog, or whatever. But go through that ritual of figuring out, maybe this isn't for me, but there's something to whatever this is.
Right.
Let me write whatever this is, and then let me give it to the universe or keep it for myself. That's what you're entitled to do because now you own it.
That sounds like a good idea, especially in the larger creative scope of like, take the trick in isolation and see what it does work in. And as you master that trick and the different elements of the trick, you understand more the finer elements of it, I guess. And I bet after if you spent time taking a trick independently, you would have a better understanding of it, where it could fit in your routine once you have some mastery over it versus when you've just bought it or once you've just finished learning it.
Well, I guess so you are whoever you is in this scenario.
Sure.
You find yourself the owner of a trick, right? And already you have the restrictive conundrum of, does it fit my character? Does it fit my show? And all that stuff. And on top of that, you have the restrictive issues of can anybody do this? In what situations? Does it play surrounded? Does it play on stage? All that stuff. And then, so I would say relax some of those. Assume at the beginning that this is not for you. Figure out who it's for and what show this belongs in. And then after you've written that routine, write it for somebody else, in other words.
I see.
Then step back and say, knowing what I know about this routine, after all, I'm the one who wrote the routine for it.
All the scenery around the trick.
Would I accept it into my show?
I
And
see.
and maybe the answer is no. But this is one of the reasons that I tell people who are getting started in magic. People are like, what should I do? Used to be the answer was go perform on the street. But nowadays the answer is go to coffee shops, open mic nights, literally anyone who will let you get on stage and just see what happens. Because there's so much more value in the failures than the success.
I see.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Sign. If you have a letter or an email question about magic, number one magic podcast on Twitch by a long shot.
Gotcha.
Mail, MAIL at nightattack.tv. Thank you, guys.
We should start a feud with Abracababble to be the biggest.
Oh yeah. Hey,
man,
what are you afraid of, Abracababble? Why do you hide behind the Patreon curtain?
Patreon.
Are you afraid to have discussions about magic right here in public where everyone can see it? Yeah. We have a long-standing challenge. Anytime you want to call us live, then do so, but you haven't.
Yeah, quit hiding behind Di Vernon's skirt.
Those are Di Vernon's ashes. Come on, man.
Oh, jeez, come on. Have some fucking respect.
I mean, people are. You know what, Abracababble? I didn't want to be the first to say it, but people are talking. People are talking.
People are talking. Yeah, in and of itself, people are talking.
I feel once again completely left out on a... Yeah.
One day. Not today, but one day.
One day. Justin, what did we learn today?
Brian, we learned that Bryce has got some sweet cum.
Yeah, we learned that I may or may not be working on a divorce.
Yep. We learned that Rex certainly did his job.
He wrecked a marriage. That's where the Rex comes from. CUMs. Most importantly, we learned that you are the most beautiful motherfuckers on the entire planet. And of course, we want you guys to die in a fire. Not really.
See you next Tuesday. Hashtag Schwood to Legend.
Oh, shit. It's happening. It's happening.
The Bit Boss.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I want to thank Jordan DeMoss. You are the bit boss today, my
Holy
good
cow. 2550? That's a huge advance. Well played.
Pow.
Thank you, Jordan.
Night attack. Night attack. Night attack. Night attack. Night attack. Night attack. I love you.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.